It's got the mark.
Well, you know the drill. Leave him on
This is a live one.
Bullshit! You are lying!
Let the zone take me if I am.
Chernobyl holds over 3 trillion of these bullets.
There's a lot of media surrounding the disaster that happened in Chernobyl in 1986. Countless movies, shows, documentaries and more, but out of all of them, my favorite one has to be the S.T.A.L.K.E.R franchise. So what is S.T.A.L.K.E.R really about? To understand that, we have to go back to 2007, when Ukrainian studio GST Game World released the first game in the series, S.T.A.L.K.E.R Shadow of Chernobyl. But this isn't just a game set after the real 1986 nuclear disaster. In the world of S.T.A.L.K.E.R, a second catastrophe strikes the Chernobyl exclusion zone in 2006, a mysterious explosion far more devastating than the first. After the second incident, the zone changes completely. Strange anomalies begin to appear. Reality itself starts to distort. As the zone warped and twisted after the second explosion, its life itself changed. Some creatures adapted in strange ways, while others became hostile. With the zone's life reshaped by anomalies, new dangers begin to emerge. Well, the enemies you encounter vary a lot. The first enemies you encounter are mostly inexperienced bandits. They are poorly equipped, usually carrying Makarovs or basic shotguns. They rely on numbers more than skill, but if you stay patient and don't rush them, they're relatively easy to deal with. One of the first major threats you encounter is the Ukrainian military. The first time you meet them, they are soldiers stationed around the Agropom Research Institute. Unlike the bandits, these enemies are actually trained and properly equipped. They carry military-grade rifles, wear better armor, and fight with much more discipline. Instead of rushing you recklessly like bandits often do, soldiers will use cover, hold positions, and attack in coordinated groups. Because of this, fights against the military can become much more dangerous, especially if you're caught in the open or outnumbered. The zone isn't only filled with hostile stalkers and soldiers. Many animals around Chernobyl are mutated after the disaster, creating dangerous creatures that roam the area. One of the most common is the Flesh, a mutated pig-like animal that usually travels in groups and attacks anything that gets too close. Another dangerous mutant is the Bloodsucker, one of the most feared creatures in the zone. It can turn nearly invisible and ambush stalkers before they even realize it's there. There are many mutants in the game, but I don't want to spoil them in case you play this game. Early on, most stalkers use simple pistols like the Makarovs and some other pistols in the game. Other weapons they can use early on are shotguns, which are useful against weaker mutants and lightly armed enemies. As you explore deeper into the zone, you begin finding stronger weapons like the assault rifles such as the AK-74 and its different variants. Compared to the basic pistols and shotguns you start with, these weapons gives you a much better chance of surviving the dangers ahead. You'll also come across submachine guns, which can be extremely useful in close quarters fights, especially when facing better equipped enemies like the military forces. In the zone, having the right weapon often makes all the difference when a fight breaks out. With all these weapons and dangers lurking throughout the zone, you might start to wonder why anyone would willingly enter a place like this. The answer lies in something incredibly valuable hidden throughout the zone: mysterious objects known as artifacts. These strange objects form within the zone and possess unusual properties, sometimes improving endurance, reducing radiation, or helping stalkers survive longer in the harsh environment. Because of their vastly unusual properties, many stalkers risk their lives searching the zone for artifacts, hoping to use them to survive its dangers, or sell them for a good profit. The zone is also home to several different factions. These groups are made up of stalkers who share similar goals, beliefs, or ways of surviving in the harsh environment. Some factions try to study the zone and uncover its secrets, while others believe the zone should be controlled or even destroyed because of the danger it creates. There are also stalkers who simply try to survive on their own, taking whatever work they can find and exploring the zone for artifacts or supplies. Because of these different goals and beliefs, tensions between factions can sometimes lead to conflicts throughout the zone. Despite the constant danger outside, stalkers still need places where they can rest and recover. Throughout the zone, certain safe areas act as meeting points where stalkers can trade supplies, share information, and take a break from the dangers of exploration. One of the most well-known gathering places is the bar, where stalkers from different backgrounds come together to relax, talk, and prepare for their next journey deeper into the zone. One of the most memorable aspects of Stalker is the world it's set in. The zone often feels quiet and empty, but at the same time, there's always a sense that something could happen at any moment. As you explore, you might hear distant gunfire echoing across the landscape, or sirens blasting through speakers just to let you know the zone isn't safe. Small details like these help the world feel believable and immersive, even when very little is happening on screen. This atmosphere is a big part of what makes exploring the zone such a unique and memorable experience. The zone is a dangerous and unpredictable place, filled with anomalies, mutants, and hostile stalkers. It's a place where every journey can quickly turn deadly. Yet despite of all its dangers, people continue to enter the zone in search of artifacts, fortune, or simply the thrill of exploration. Even years after its release, S.T.A.L.K.E.R. Shadow of Chernobyl remains one of the most unique and atmospheric worlds ever created in a game, and once you step into the zone, it's not a place you easily forget. Thank you for watching.